Hello everybody. Today is part 3 video. This is where we actually have the first responders put the kits together. You've gone out of your way to develop the kits and put them in a plastic bag with all the components they need. Okay? Now we'll show you how it should be put together by the EMS personnel or first responders or the people at home that are building their own kits. Now these kits aren't meant to replace EMS or anything. They're meant to help keep people alive from arterial bleeding, deep venial bleeding, and potentially sucking chest wounds. Okay, and then our goal is to keep them alive until we get them in the EMS system. One thing you can also do is learn CPR. Take the Stop the Bleeding class. They have a great class on Stop the Bleeding, okay? And these are the basic components to stop the bleeding, okay? And you can have these in your car, in your own workshop, whatever. So ultimately, everything will be in this bag, okay? It's called a Molly bag, and it's orange for a reason, so you can see it, okay? It can snap on. It can be put on your headrest, wherever you want, okay? And actually, you can put on your vest, too, if you want. So we're going to just dump everything out here on the table and get rid of the plastic bag. Again, we have the Mylar bag, the Mylar Blanket. We have shears, we have a Chem Light, okay, we have a self-adhering gauze, we have the oil emulsion 3x3s, a stack of 4x4s, a plastic bag that can be ripped open and used for to cover large areas of sucking chest wound, okay, we have the tourniquet, and then we have 2 of the compressed bandage. Now some kits that we develop here will have either the Primacare or they'll have the Israeli military field dressing. Either one or both the same, basically, just whatever you want to use, okay? Now, and by the way, you can add other things. So first thing first, let's do the tourniquet, okay? That's a pretty important piece there, okay? So every EMS person or rescue person carries a pocket knife. So you open this bad boy up, take off the plastic. I don't save the instructions, but some people may want to use them later, okay? Now, the first thing you want to do is open the tourniquet up, okay? And this is what it will look like, okay? Now, what I do is, once I put it through here, okay? Hang on, there we go. Once I put it through here, I double over this. So when I pull it later, I've got a good grasp on it, okay? It's something I can really grab. And then you typically make it so you've got about a foot, okay, in expanse. It's up to you how you want to do this. You put it together. Now I tell people at this point, just to always test it. Give it a good tug. Typically, you only need about 4 pounds of pressure around an artery, even a femoral artery, but go ahead and test it anyway. The time part of this is really not essential anymore because once you put a tourniquet on, you leave it on until the EMS people get it or the doctors, okay? So some people just tie it around the back. I typically just rip it right off. So there's no reason to keep it. So, okay? So now the tourniquet is almost ready to go. And now this is the windlass. Now one thing you want to make sure when you put a tourniquet on, you put it on tight with this first. The windlass and this is just for fine tuning. It's not meant to take up multiple inches. Otherwise you'll actually break or tear it apart. It's not meant for that, okay? And usually what will fail if you do it is this ribbon here in the middle. So you fold the tourniquet over like this, okay? And that's the first component. That goes in the very first part of your kit because it's the most important part of your kit actually. So you put that in there, okay, and you push the windlass down as far as it'll go. There you go. Now at this point I also take the shears and I put the shears behind the tourniquet, okay? I fold this over. I pull this up. I have terrible fingers today, so and then you make it pretty tight. So that's out front. Next thing that goes out front is the Chem Light. Okay, these are yellow Chem Lights. So what I do is, and again, you want all this ready so when they need it, it's not hidden anywhere. And that goes in that front pocket right there. Okay? So right away, you have shears to get access to the area where you need to put the tourniquet. You have the tourniquet, and then you have light. So you pull the light out, and how you use one of these is really simple. Okay, a Chem Light is exactly simple. You take it, you snap it, okay, and you shake it. These will last about 12 hours, and they'll put out sufficient light so even in pure darkness, you'll be able to see very well, okay? And they'll last, like I said, 12 hours. And you use it so you can see the wound and apply and take care of the wound and manage it. But then, if worse comes at the end of it, you can use this hook here and hook it on the person's uniform or their collar or whatever, so the EMS people can know exactly where they are and get right to them when they finally arrive on the scene. Okay? I'll stick that in there so you know where it goes. Okay, so the next thing is the first compartment here. Okay? Now the first compartment is pretty simple. With these kind of compresses, what I do is I go ahead and open them because they can be kind of tricky to open, especially in an emergency, and you don't want to be diddling in an emergency. The nice thing about these is these have rip tabs on them. You can rip them open real quick. Okay? So I take these two out, and if I'm not using these and I'm using the Israeli ones, I put those in there. And you may want to use different ones, whatever you wish, okay? They go in this pocket, okay? And then the Mylar blanket goes in the rescue blanket. I fold the Mylar blanket most of the time. I don't know where I picked that up, but I fold it and I put it next to the two compresses. Well, that's done. Let's zip that bad boy up. Okay, that one's done. Now, let's go to the last pocket. And the last pocket is going to can have your 4-inch self-adhering gauze, or bandage, excuse me, and you're going to have to give it a shove. This kit will stretch out over time, okay? But initially, you got to help it. Here are the 4x4s and the oil emulsion for a sucking chest wound. It needs to have a little bit of air vacated, so you open it up and you vacate as much air as you can, and then you re-zip it. I fold it. I put it right there, and I zip the bad boy back up, the whole thing up. And this is a kit ready to go. Hopefully you won't use the Chem Light until it's ready, but if they're needed, it's there. Okay? So this kit is ready to go to stop the bleeding and help keep people alive until they can enter the EMS golden hour. Thank you for your time. I hope you build one of these for yourself, for your kitchen, for your car, your backpack when you go camping, hunting, whatever. You never know when you're going to need a tourniquet, but when you need a tourniquet, you need a tourniquet badly. I hope everybody stays safe, healthy, and I hope that you never have to use one of these, but if you do, I hope you got it handy. Y'all be safe. Bye-bye.